What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Saturday night's late night news roundup, where I'm going to talk you through the developing news around Liverpool's pursuit of Isak. Some people believe that this is still going to happen. We're going to talk about Newcastle selling a striker. Yep, you did hear me right. I did say selling a striker. We're also going to speak about Mark Guehi, Rodrygo, Ibrahim Konate, and a little bit on Harvey Elliott and his future as well. So I'll let you know what I know. Over to you guys in the comments to let me know your thoughts on all of this. Do you think Liverpool will move for that bid for Isak after Monday, or will we admit defeat? I do want to know your thoughts. Tomorrow we'll be back as our regular scheduling video at about 4:30, 4:45, stream at 8:45, and of course a late night video. Then on Monday we start our coverage from 6:45 p.m. Massive game at St James's Park. Not sure if you've seen this from earlier on as well, but Arsenal wiped the floor with Leeds, but at some cost. Saka went off with a hamstring injury and Odegaard went off with a shoulder injury. Now, whether either or both of those gentlemen will be able to play against Liverpool on Sunday remains to be seen. If I was a betting man, I wouldn't say Saka's going to make it based off what I'd seen today when he was leaving the pitch. So, let's move on to speak about what Graham Bailey had to say about the Isak situation. He said that he thinks Liverpool will make a fresh bid and it will be a British transfer record bid after the game on Monday night. That seems to be the general consensus from a lot of people. He does go on to say, though, that Liverpool are unlikely to bring in a stopgap if they fail to sign Isak, as Ekitike, Chiesa and Gakpo could all play through the middle. So I've no problem with Liverpool waiting for Isak if they feel they can get him in January. But we can't do that and not bring in another forward in this window. You can't let half a season go by with 4 forward options and young Rio Engamoa. That is madness in the Premier League. And I would go as far as to say I really wouldn't be thinking we retain a Premier League title if we don't bring in at least one more forward between now and the time the window shuts. So again, we ran a couple of polls tonight in the late night agenda and lots of optimism around Liverpool's business. Not many people feeling like we'll see Isak, Rodrygo and Mark Guehi, but plenty of optimism nonetheless that we'll get at least one forward in, and there was a lot of belief as well that Mark Guehi will become a Liverpool player. So I mentioned at the start of this video that Newcastle are considering selling a striker. What's that you said? They have one? They do. Young William Osula and Florian Plettenberg earlier on reported that the 22-year-old striker could still leave Newcastle in the coming days. There's also interest from the Bundesliga, he said, in Bayer Leverkusen, who, again, were beaten today, I believe, 2-1, and Erik ten Hag working wonders over there. Let's move on to speak a little bit now about Rodrygo and the secret contact that Football Insider have been speaking about. They've said that he has been in contact with Alisson Becker to inquire what life is like and what the Premier League is like playing for Liverpool Football Club. I'd love Rodrygo to come to Liverpool. I'd love us to offer Konate in part exchange if we can't agree an extension there. It feels like he is going to move somewhere. There's been no real talk of Paris Saint-Germain coming back in since the early days of the window where they were tipped to have a €100 million bid waiting. As of right now, well, Manchester City look like they don't really have squad space to bring him in. Arsenal, well, they've brought in other players. Eberechi Eze unveiled today for them. So it feels like if he's going to come to the Prem, Liverpool or Spurs are probably the two options, and I'm not really seeing him queuing up the run to Spurs. Let's talk a little bit about Kostas. DiMarzio has said that Roma have been in contact with Liverpool regarding a loan move for Kostas. I think we'd be mad to loan him out unless there is a cast iron guarantee that a clause will be triggered to buy him at the end of the season. What's the point? I know it's a World Cup year and Kostas will want to play, but right now we're talking about who we play at right back because Bradley's coming back from injury and Frimpong's out. That's an option for me. You can put Kostas at right back if needs be. I'm not saying it's the best one, but why again intentionally leave ourselves short of squad players if it isn't for a permanent sale? Just my take on it, but let me know what you think. So, Football Insider have said Brentford are prepared to demand as much as £50 million from Newcastle for Johan Wissa. This is a player who Newcastle thought at the start of the window they might be able to get for about 25 or 30 million pound. But it does look as if there's some good news in Newcastle's pursuit of a striker because Nicholas Jackson, well, his suitors or his options are starting to dry up. Aston Villa look like they're moving in another direction. Bayern Munich, Max Eberl has already come out and said that Nicholas Jackson isn't one that's on their radar. So if Newcastle want to get this deal done, surely they can. Chelsea need to sell. Nicholas Jackson needs to play. Newcastle need a striker. Would that be enough for them to sell us Alexander Isak? Let's wait and see. For me, I still think they won 2, but there is a potential they get 2 in. Again, DiMarzio saying that Roma made contact with Liverpool and they'd like Kostas to be the successor of Angelino over there. But again, for me, if it is a loan, there has to be a cast iron guarantee of a sale at the end of it. So, Real Madrid, let's move on to them again. They said that they want to sign Adam Wharton, at least according to AS over in Spain, and are wary of competition from Liverpool and Manchester City. So much so that they might be pushing to try and get Adam Wharton in sooner rather than later. So will we see a world where they sell Rodrygo and use that money to try to sign Adam Wharton? Potentially. They go on in this piece to say that Crystal Palace are looking at about £70 million or €80 million as a fee for Adam Wharton. Big money for a player with, well, limited Premier League experience. A few words now from Arne Slot speaking about Federico Chiesa and him being an option for us this season. The manager said, I see a totally different Federico now than from large parts of last season. It's completely normal because he missed out on the whole pre-season, then came into a Premier League rhythm in terms of the amount of games and in terms of intensity. If he's more available and he has more chances to impact our results or his playing time, then it's about him staying as fit as he is at the moment. He's in a much better place now, as we've all seen. We needed a goal. I looked at the bench and I seen young Rio, a 16-year-old midfielder, and him. For me, although Rio did really well in pre-season, it was quite a normal choice to bring him in, and of course we know Chiesa delivered. This from our friend Ivan Schwackhoff. Now again, massive pinch of salt needed here, but Ivan has let us know there's nothing to worry about. He went on to say, being told tonight that Alexander Isak will join Liverpool this transfer window, Isak will be a Liverpool player. I don't know where I sit on this one. Do I think we get Isak before the window shuts? I am quietly confident. And I know I probably have no reason to be. Newcastle fans are probably screaming at the screen going, we have no strikers, we're not selling. But I think the way the market is going to come through a bit of a crescendo here in the last 9 days, you'll see a lot of business getting done. Chelsea have to bring in Simons. Chelsea want to move out Nicholas Jackson. Villa need to get some players in. Palace need to get some players in. Liverpool need to get some players in. So I think there may be a chain of events that sees a world where we do sign Isak. My best guess is it will be 120 to 130 million pound. But I want to know, are you feeling as confident as I am? The chat certainly were. We asked tonight, is Isak a Liverpool player? By the end of this transfer window, and 73% said yes, they do believe that Alexander Isak will be a Liverpool player by the end of this transfer window. Quickly, before we finish up, I'm going to run you through today's scores in the Premier League. It was Manchester City 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2, and a massive result for Spurs, and it only underlines my belief that Arsenal are our biggest threat this season. Bournemouth 1, Wolves 0, Brentford 1, Aston Villa 0, and Burnley 2, Sunderland 0. Result in the evening kickoff was Arsenal 5, Leeds United 0. Couple of goals there for Victor Gyökeres, including one from the penalty spot. So ladies and gentlemen, that is it for me tonight. As I mentioned, I will see you guys tomorrow. If you want to be included or include your player ratings in our matchday content, make sure you scan that QR code on the screen and join the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp community. On top of that, I just want to say something personal to you guys. You may have seen the post we put up on X about the disgusting emails that we'd received. Because of that, and because of, well, an overwhelming response of kindness as well, I've signed out of all the Anfield Agenda email accounts, leaving them to our moderators and a couple of others to run. So if you don't get a response from an email you've sent it looking for me, it isn't because I'm ignoring you. I've just started to have to put a bit of distance between myself and being so accessible to some people because, well, you know, mental health and all that. So it isn't because I'm trying to be rude or anything like that. But if you look on X and you see the post with the emails we received, I think you'll understand where I'm coming from. Appreciate all the love and support that we do get. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Much love, my friends. Take care. Bye-bye.